map for Terran, especially against Zerg. The dropping locations you can do on this map is insane. You can really run the Zerg around. That third base is not the closest one in the world. Dark, he looks really frustrated. He could go on tilt. I'm not sure about this.
Yeah, I'm not sure about this either, man. All right, guys, the map's already up and loaded. We're going to go into this right away here. Jumping into our large map here. The map everyone's saying is Terran favored. It's Catallena.
Over here at 9 o'clock in the red, taking a frustrating loss there is Dark, our Zerg player.
And, of course, up here to the top of the map, it's TY. Taking a very solid recovery after that proxy didn't go as well as he liked. And, you know, it's always a bit annoying when things like that happen, but he transitioned out of it really well. And also Dark just, he went so far away from his base with those drones. He really wanted to get those Marines. He wanted to shut it down really hard, but he wasn't able to do that as well as he would have liked. I feel like, you know, possibly, I mean, I have hindsight bias. You know, I can look back at the game, and I watched it at bird's eye view, but I feel like maybe targeting down the first bunker a little bit faster, and then just killing that, and then kind of moving back, letting the Lings kill the second bunker, and just saying, all right, I'm going to mine again, and my Lings are out here, they're on creep, you can't really attack into me. I'm just going to cut my losses from that little bit of mine time I lost and make drones.
Yeah.
Looking back, considering how far away the barracks were, I think that might have been the better choice.
Yeah, possibly, but again, that's why it's such a good build for Terrans. You know, they love to do that build because it's so hard for Zergs to make the right choice, like the exact right choice. There's always going to be some slight thing they do wrong. Like you're saying, you know, maybe he ran the drones way too far away from his base. He lost too much mining, too many drones, and it's too much of a loss. You know, if he does what you say, maybe he doesn't take that big of a loss, and it's more of an even game. But still, I mean, Terrans, even on a big map like that, Deadwing, they're still able to use that really strong build.
So going into this game, we see a very safe pool first, actually. You don't want to end up losing another game to a proxy or getting caught off guard by that. I want to point out, though, that in this map, we talk about how a lot of Terrans like to play on this map. A lot of it gets banned by Zergs. The stats are actually fairly even. In fact, I would say insanely even. At 38 to 36, 51.4% of all games played offline on Catallena, or I guess that might even include some online games this time I'm looking at on TLPD.
Yeah.
So that's just a little bit of extra information for you guys. So even when we say a map is Terran favored, because of how bans work and how picks work, you oftentimes end up getting a pretty close to 50% ratio. Mm-hmm. On PBT, on the other hand, it's 36.4 for Protoss.
Yeah, that's the one I was going to mention. I was looking at that. I was like, whoa, yeah. I mean, Protoss is as well. They love to ban this map, and I guess it's for a reason, maybe a bigger one than Zerg's liking to ban this map.
Yeah.
You know, we saw Dark banning that Nimbus map, rather, and when you only have one ban, maybe he feels like that Nimbus map is just a little bit harder than this one.
Yeah. Well, that's, you know, not a bad ban choice for sure. And we're used to having multiple bans, but obviously with the change of format to best of 5, you only have one ban. So if you ban 2, then we wouldn't be able to play 5 games without repeating maps.
I wanna point something out on this map, especially, you know, talking about that third base for the Zerg. If you look at where he's gonna try to expand here against the Terran, you have one that's a little bit north, which would be very open to drop play, or one that's to the east of his main, which, you know, is pretty close there on ground. So again, maybe if Dark spawned in the bottom right, it would have been a little bit better. You know, he's expanding away from the Terran, but here we have the Terran in a really nice spot to put on some good aggression there in the mid game. And I'm not sure how Dark's going to handle it.
Well, this is a good scout here with the Reaper. I like how both players are already adapting to each other's styles. He's like, okay, well, you've already shown that you can be really aggressive in all sorts of different ways. And this is why I said earlier when I was talking about this player in this match, be super aggressive. Reaper comes in, he's like, okay, no gases, everything's cool. I kept the Reaper at home at first just because I was scared, I didn't know what you were going to do. TY's playing very safe, very cautiously here, taking a much more conservative expand than we saw him doing game 1. And he's even Overlord hunting here. Does not actually get that Overlord on the right side there. His timing just a little bit off. But I like how these two are playing it out. We even saw Dark go for the pool first, for example. Okay, he's actually moving across the map here pretty early.
Yeah, very aggressively here. And we do have 2 queens, and he's starting to set up that wall at the front. It is Dark. He does have that Roach Warren there at the wall. But again, Hellions for the follow-up here. We do have a small group of Marines as well with this push. And so far, Darky's been droning pretty heavily here. He's only got 38 drones, or that's actually a lot of drones. What I'm trying to say, he doesn't have much army here.
Yeah, he's got, what, like 16 lings? No, he's got maybe 8 lings and all those queens.
Yeah, it's just really not that much here.
Yeah, he really just doesn't. In fact, he only has 4 queens. I miscounted the supply there. That's all he's got.
Yeah, there's actually no lings here.
Nope.
He's taking a lot of losses already. I mean, the queens are doing okay at defending this. But again, drones are going down here. 1 queen goes down. And now the drones are left alone to fight against the Hellions. Could go right into the main if he wants to.
I have to say, I feel like a bit greedy trying to fight those queens. The key here is getting the Hellions into the main. If the Hellions get into the main, that's where the queens aren't, and that's where the Hellions should be. He did a lot of damage. In fact, some might argue even came ending damage, especially
19 drones.
Especially considering he's trying to go into roaches off 2 base, and now he's down to 19 drones. How well is that going to work against somebody who's already got Banshees coming out across the map? I think TY could have done even more damage had he just run right into the main instead of trying to fight those queens with his Marines. This is nasty, man. I'm not sure how Dark is going to recover from this. I just don't think he can. He's got no way to take a 3rd base, and he's got to be careful against his harass.
Yeah, I feel like Dark, he just didn't expect that aggression. He was being super greedy with the droning. He had 0 lings. We were talking about that, 0 lings.
Yeah,
we thought maybe he had some lings. He had none. He was trying to get the roaches out. They were late. It was a really nice timing there by TY, and he has sustained so many losses, and that's going to even put him more on tilt here if he wasn't on tilt already.
Well, I always forget when I look at this army supply, that Queens are army supply. I saw 8, and I was like, well, he's got maybe 16 lings. So I'm like, no, that's not how this works. Yeah, I mean, these roaches were definitely not intended to be a 4-roach wall at the front. Like this is a free kick in soccer or something. Excuse me, football.
Yeah, please.
Americans and their soccer, I don't know. Now he's supply blocked. He's trying to spend every resource he can on and just stabilizing. Viking comes out to clear overlords for drops. He's like not even on the plan to kill the overlords in an intent to supply block.
Look at how late these overlords are as well. He's had some real trouble with the supply blocking in this series, I have to say. He doesn't normally look like this, Dark.
Yeah. Well, he's off kilter a little bit, that's for sure. And things have gone very awry in this game. He's still behind in working count. This is the kind of game where, you know, your win condition almost becomes my opponent's mistake. Like that's what you're thinking. You're like, okay, well, how can I play this game out where TY might think he's won the game, but he hasn't, and I just kill him, you know, because he makes a huge mistake. He tries to attack into me, and I have like just enough aliens to hold, like barely like get my 4th base up or something after I've held my 3rd. But just look at the supplies at the top right, constantly. Terran player with a better economy. He's going to be slightly down in upgrades, but he's going to have Stim, he's going to have Medivacs, the Lair is so late, the Spire is so late, drops can run rampant, and without that 3rd base saturation, this Zerg is just never going to be able to produce enough units to keep up with the Terran. If TY wants to push out an attack and pressure at the same time he takes a 3rd base, because he's got the better economy, because he has a massively better army, he's going to be able to do that easily. And there's no Mutalisk to threaten him anytime soon. And the Mutalisk that he's going to have need to be occupied defending drops. And if they're not, then it doesn't matter that if he has a 3rd base or not, because Dark's going to get picked apart by the drops. Yeah.
Now TY puts down his orbital command here at the 3rd base. He's got it close to the Zerg. He can attack off of that base. It is so close to that 3rd base if you look at the minimap even. And man, he is just in it to win it. You were talking about how, you know, maybe Dark has to win off of TY's mistake, but TY's being so careful. He had units patrolling around the 3rd base that he didn't even have over to the right side of the map. You know, he's just all over this game right now.
Oh, here comes that first drop. Looks like he's not going to duo drop it. Okay, he is. Duo dropping, it's not a thing, by the way. I just made that a thing. He's going to do 2 drops. And this Viking is just checking. Do you have any spawning overlords? Looks like the answer is no. It seems like a good place to come and drop you. Lings immediately see that Viking, and he's like, look at the creep spread he's got in there. He loves to do this. And the Lings see the Viking, and they're like, oh, yeah, okay, you know I don't have any overlords, but I'll be there. Look at this! What is he doing? This! All right, he needs to not fight the queen, though.
Yeah, actually, he needs to run away. There's a
second
queen here.
Yeah, he's definitely going to lose it. That's all right.
What started as a really cool, nice micro trick there ended up not being the best. Was focused on clearing the creep as well as dropping at the same time. Can't really blame him.
I mean, again, no Mutalisk, then, you know, you're going to have a problem.
No Mutalisk, no drones.
Yeah.
You're gonna lose them all.
Well, he's got no mining here because of this Widow Mine problem he's got. He's actually going to lose another Overlord here. He's lost quite a few of those this game, this series.
Oh, no.
And look at this Widow Mine placed on the low ground. He's got Hellbats here. This is, I don't know, man, smash a watermelon with a sledgehammer.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like here. He's got a couple of roaches in there trying to defend against this. I think he might lose his third base. He has no mining at his main base. Looks like TY does have to pick up for a minute here. Does lose one of his medevacs. The Mutalisks are doing a very nice job here.
6 Mutalisks looks like not enough. Finally going to clear this up. Finally. How much mining has he lost here? He saves the spawning pool temporarily.
He's trying to focus it down, though, and he loses it. Oh, man.
That was pretty expensive to get that spawning pool. And actually did lose a lot of those Marauders, but here comes the next wave. And his upgrades here are a bit of a problem, but if he just keeps whittling these early numbers down, since he's only got 44 on the map with no spawning pool for quite some time, he's just not going to be able to hold this in the long run. This is just going to eventually be too much. 3-base Terran versus 3-base Zerg, plus the fact that he can't produce Lings. His gas count is quite high, but he needs more money to produce more of these units. Those Widow Mine shots, not the best. That one was pretty
nice.
Really good. On that one, that 10 kill.
Yep. And he's also always, like you mentioned, he's always got that follow-up. He has the 3 bases, has so much production right now, and the production of Dark is so bad. His spawning pool is just now finishing.
Yeah, look at that scan. He's like, oh, no fourth.
GG.
GG. Uh-oh, Dark, man, he's on tilt. I was really feeling like we were going to see this series go the other way.
Yeah.
But TY's got another plan coming, man. He's really playing these maps out to his strengths, and he's just getting so far ahead with these drops.
You know what? TY's showing me right now he's the more confident, more mature pro player right now. He's saying, okay, I can play out this best of 5 easily, but Dark, he's getting frustrated. He can't handle the heat it's looking like right now. I don't know what's going on with him.
Yeah, I'm not sure either, man. But only time will tell. And I'm just feeling like, I don't know, Dark needs to talk to a coach or something. He needs to, I mean, I know his coach is here. We saw him earlier.
Yeah, we saw him. We talked to him.
I feel like he's gotta get just back, his head needs to get back on straight, because right now his head is looking up at the sky where drop ships are dropping in his main base, and he's got his mouth wide open because TY's drops have been stellar. His Overlord coverage, eliminating those of the Vikings, just constantly finding the right path, using the Viking to kill Overlords and just make sure they're not there. It's been pretty impressive.
Yeah.
So I think we're actually going to go straight